Well, it's going to be a very busy, probably chaotic next week here in Washington. To begin with, hearing number one on the impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden is Thursday before the House Oversight Committee. As you might imagine, no date for an impeachment hearing is great for the president. But the White House is particularly upset with the timing of this hearing. It's 2 days before a potential government shutdown. And Congress has only until next Saturday to come to an agreement on funding the government. The White House says instead of holding a hearing on whether to impeach the president or not, all attention should be on government funding. Pennsylvania Congressman and member of the House Oversight and Accountability Committee, Congressman Scott Perry, joins me. Good evening, sir. And who are you calling as a witness? Who do you want to talk to at that impeachment inquiry?
Well, I think we would like to talk to Hunter Biden, but probably folks like Tony Bobulinski and maybe James Biden. There's a whole host of people that I think that we would like to bring in. I'm not sure exactly. This is, I think, in the Judiciary Committee, and so I'm not sure exactly who they plan to bring in. Maybe Eric Schwerin, who handled a lot of the finances between the president and his son and the other Biden. So we've got quite the laundry list of folks that we want to bring in and see what they have to say about the documentation that we have, if they want to corroborate that or explain some of that. So those folks, there's them and that I've listed and many more that we would like to talk to.
You know, it's interesting. We were just having this discussion about Senator Menendez, and one of his big hurdles, we have 3 lawyers we're talking about who have tried cases, is the unexplained wealth. And I think, indeed, that's one of the things that that's going to need to be explained in the impeachment inquiry. These corporations, these LLCs, and Hunter Biden. It's not unexplained so much, except that what did he provide for these tremendous amounts of money from foreign government? I see that as as a huge hurdle. That to the extent that that you're going to hear from any other explanation about it. I think that's the hurdle that Hunter Biden and the family have.
You're exactly right, Greta. That's what I would call the probable cause, and there's a mountain of it. $20 million in unexplained wealth. We don't know what the service or the product that was provided to the Biden family for that $20 million, coming mostly from foreign nationals of questionable repute. Oftentimes, we've got, I think, about 175 suspicious activity reports reporting from the banks to Treasury on the Biden's bank accounts. We have bank accounts or transactions listed as Biden, but no first name. So we need to figure that out.
But here's the thing. If I were representing President Biden before the committee, here's what I say is that there's a tremendous amount of smoke and questions about Hunter Biden. But in order for it to have any impact on the president, you'd have to prove that either the president got some of the money, or he changed some policy, or he did something. It's not that he has a grifter who's a son. You've actually, Hunter Biden's not the one who's having an impeachment inquiry, but you've got to connect it to the president.
You're absolutely right. And we need to see all the bank accounts, which we have not been able to do so far, and which is why there is an inquiry, or among other reasons. We don't know if there are foreign bank accounts. But I would say this, Greta, the president told the Council on Foreign Relations that the prosecutor was fired in exchange for essentially $1 billion in loan guarantees. Now, the prosecutor ostensibly was fired because he was looking into the company the president's son sat on the board, and the president's son was hired by that company to get the prosecutor off of their back. So it does seem, I know it's circumstantial, but as you know, Greta, even fingerprints on the murder weapon are circumstantial.
Well, most cases are presented by circumstantial. There aren't direct evidence. There usually aren't eyewitnesses. So, I mean, people say it's only circumstantial. That's as powerful as direct evidence. But I'm going to take the last word on this. But I would like to hear from that prosecutor to hear what he has to say to add to this. But I don't know if he's going to come from Ukraine. Congressman Scott Perry, thank you, sir.
Thank you. God bless you, Greta.